So just briefly wanted to get these guidelines back out to you, and just to kind of remind you the purpose of these things. And what I wanted to really share with you is the guidelines that you see here today are really a distilled version of the feedback that we've gotten from the congregation over the years, from the family that says, hey, when we're doing this effort, when we have that Lord's Supper talk, this is what really puts us in that zone of where we want to be, right? And so that's why we put this together. And I think the other, kind of 30,000 foot view of this is that we do want to try and keep it to a 5 to 8 minute time zone for it, because we want to have a service that is visitor friendly, in the sense that I want to be able to have any one of you bring your unchurched friends to our group and have them be able to go through this and really want to come back and be involved. And so these are kind of the goals of this thing. So let's just kind of walk through it first and foremost. So the introduction, the one purpose is to focus the congregation's mind on the cross. And it is different than a sermon, in the sense that you're just trying to get the congregation ready for an experience rather than call to an action. And so that's why we put this together this way. So contain your topics in your speech to about 5 minutes. And I'm going to tell you that it's tough to do. It's extremely difficult to do. When you're doing a longer presentation, you have time for long illustrations and talks and that type of thing, but we want this to stay to that 5 to 8 minute pocket. And so in order to do that, you have to stay very focused on what you're talking about, right? Okay. And because of the visitor friendly thing. And then really, point B, concentrate on one particular topic, okay? Don't have 3 points or 4 points. Have one thought, one scripture, and get to it right away. I'm going to tell you, even for me personally, some of the most powerful ones that all of you have done were some of the more simpler ones, where it was one scripture, one thought, you got me there, and I was there. Be careful about your illustrations, right? We would like the illustration, if you want to talk about just percentage, here's your percentage of talk on a graph. We would like the illustration to be here and the cross to be here, rather than the illustration to be here and the cross here, right? We want that illustration to be compact and to the point. So don't be afraid when you're talking about your illustration. This does take some thought. It does take some thought, because you guys have some powerful illustrations. Think about your illustration. Think about how do you compact that to make it the smaller percentage of your talk and the larger percentage of your talk about the cross. And then the last piece is, it's okay to be celebratory. Will, in his are always celebratory. That's just the way he is. That's his. And then other people kind of focus on, hey, the agony and what was done for us and those types of things. And I'm going to tell you, both are very powerful. Last point, be careful about humor. Okay, humor can kind of break the tension of being up front. Everyone's nervous when you get up in front of people. It does, and it does cause some nerves. And so it's okay to have a little bit of humor to kind of break that tension, but it's not, you can actually really distract from the power of what you're trying to do by making it too humorous, right? So you got to be careful. It's walk that fine line between celebratory, but you can't cross that line into humorous, because that does break, really, I think, the thought process. And so I'm going to just end by saying, you guys do a great job. Mm-hmm. You really do. Yeah. And the congregation thanks you. I thank you, because it's an important part of our week. I mean, you are starting our week off where we need to be.